Hello, my name is Terry Denadley. I'm a fine artist, and I do a number of different mediums that I am facile in. And one of the questions my fellow artist friends have asked me on our Friday Portrait Open Studio is, how do you get the effects of your sketches looking colorful and in a short amount of time? So I come prepared, and I'm going to share with you how I prepare my watercolor paper in this case. So this is Arches watercolor paper, and I start with a background. And I'm going to first lay down some water, and since it's a portrait, I will probably come down with the water and make somewhat of a cruciform, because that makes for a nice composition start. And it will be light. You can see a little bit of the water on there. And so this is my cruciform. Then I will take and I'll take a base color. I'll use this blue because it is cool and it's a little bit of a background. And we'll just go ahead and mix that in to the water and let it do its thing. I'll probably use a couple colors. So here's some of the blue, and I might do a little alizarin crimson with that, just to have it mix on the paper. And we'll do a little bit of this blue here, a little more blue, a little different blue, and then maybe we'll do a slight bit of some yellow. That will give me a little bit of an orange. Some more of the blues in here. I'm going to probably carry some of that over there. A little bit of this blue. And let them mix on the paper. If there are some hard lines that I don't like, I will go ahead and see how that mixes. And I also can turn it and let it run a little bit to give an interesting effect. There you go, and I'm going to let that run right off. And I'll go in with a wet brush and just soften the edge a little bit, so not to have too much of a hard edge. And I can, once this is dry, I can come in and do some more to soften the edges, because I will put a person's face on top of this once it's dry, and once I do the priming of this watercolor paper. And this is 140-pound Arches watercolor paper. In this case, I have purchased a tablet of it, or a booklet size. This one is 11 by 14. And this is cold press. Comes like that. You just tear off a sheet and you're good to go. And so this will be one that I will use on a Friday. And so I'm going to pretend that the cake is coming out of the oven. So we're going to set this aside, let that dry. And I'm going to show you how I do the rest of it. So I will take a cake out of the oven. Let's say this is that one. And when I do a painting, I look at my model and determine what best suits where they're looking, the coloring in their face, their hair, their personality. And here's another one. And she had flowers on, so I kind of wanted to carry some of these colors throughout. And the orange in this case and the red went through her face and the background of the chair. So on this one, to prepare this canvas, this already has 2 coats, but I use Pastel Ground. And this is by Golden. It's a textured acrylic primer. And it looks like this. It's somewhat of a putty. It's got a little grit to it. And I'm going to apply it. This will be, actually you only need one coat for what I'm doing, but this is actually the third coat on top of this. So I add it, and you can do just an area that you're going to do the face. And most of the time I will do the whole piece of watercolor paper. Or it can be a mixed media paper, but watercolors do best on watercolor paper. And then you can let it thoroughly dry, and I will do that to that one, and that will be ready for a Friday open studio. And so we get that on with a spatula, or they might call them scrapers, and make sure it's covered well so you have a nice tooth for your usually graphite of some type, and it can be a little bit water soluble graphite, but mostly charcoal Conti, a drying excuse me, medium. And so now with this drying, I will be able to apply, in this case it was mostly charcoal, and also I believe this was charcoal with a little colored Conti. So it makes for a nice painting with color, and it's quick and easy. These took about an hour. The model sat for 2 hours, and I usually can finish in about an hour's time. So that's it for now. I hope you have fun and are able to prime and get your papers and your canvases, however you may use them, ready for your Friday's open studio. Thank you.